Your story is your strength. Now, why am I saying that? Because there's some of you that are thinking, there's no way that I can go approach a seller and talk to a seller and say to that seller, hey, listen, I have no money. I have no credit. I've got no job. I don't have any credentials. Oh, and by the way, I had a property that was recently foreclosed on within the last 7 years. And so, in your mind, you're thinking of all the reasons that the seller isn't going to want to give you that opportunity, isn't going to want to hear what it is that you have to offer. But what you're not taking into account is that your story is actually your strength. So, in the 90s, my mother and father got into a really bitter divorce. It was like War of the Roses. They damaged each other's credit. They let our primary house go into foreclosure. They they let the cars all get repossessed. They really, whatever they could do to hurt each other, they did. Okay. And it got really, really, really ugly for a while for our family. My mother went out and she approached someone over in Highland Park, Los Angeles, and she talked to someone. It was an elderly couple, and she basically went to them and she said, hey, listen, I just went through a really, really, really bad divorce. It's really bad. I have a job. I do make money. I have 3 children. I need a place for them to stay. We used to have a house. For whatever reason, my husband took it or however she explained losing the property. And did she get it on the first conversation with that elderly couple? No. Did she keep in touch with them? Yes. Did she talk to them? Yes. Did she keep repeating her story and her scenario, right? She did. And eventually what ended up happening was that elderly couple actually deeded the property to my mother and sold it to her using seller finance. Did she have to work 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs to be able to pay for that and make sure that she made those monthly payments to the elderly couple? Yes. Would she have been able to have gotten that property, right, without using her story, right, without explaining her scenario? Probably not. Would a bank have financed her? Absolutely not. Not especially not after having lost the property, and especially after having bad credit. This was during the 90s. So here's the thing: these strategies have been going on for a really, really long time. Okay, even before many of us were born. Okay, so I mean, during the 70s or 80s, there was Carlton Sheets that was teaching these strategies. So I want you to understand that this has already been going on, and so now you have the opportunity to learn how to do it as well. So everybody's story is going to be different. Everybody's story needs to be authentic, because the more authentic the story is, the more that you're going to be able to tell it, the more you're going to be able to convey why they should be willing to hear your offer out. And more importantly, if you're dealing with someone who's in a distressed situation, they'll probably be able to relate with whatever story it is that you're giving them, all right, or you're sharing with them.